Santa Rosa's new commission took their seats Tuesday after returning commissioners Bob Cole, Don Salter, and Gordon Gooden, and newly elected Jim Williamson and Lane Lynchard were sworn in. Officials say in the coming year, there's one issue that stands out on everybody's minds.
Obviously, budget and the revenue is going to be a major obstacle for us. We all know what's going on at the state level. Legislators are talking about having a $1 billion deficit in trying to balance the budget. So that's going to have an impact on our county.
Obviously, the budget and the economy going forward is going to be a challenge for us. We have a lot of work to do in that arena, and hopefully we can get started right away.
You got any big ideas up front, or are you holding back? Or
holding back a little bit. I want to get my feet under me, and then as we move forward, come up with some goals for the county, and then work to achieve those goals.
I think the biggest thing we have to do is just work together on the budget to be able to keep costs down in order to survive in our personal lives and our business. We've had to do that, and county government's going to have to do the same thing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Santa Rosa Week. I'm Jerry Cooey.
I'm Deborah Nelson.
And you found us on Mediacom Channel 27. And we'll be here every Saturday, 4:30 to 5. And all of our shows will be on YouTube. Just do a search for Santa Rosa Week, and you can watch them at your leisure. This week's show is kind of going to be a hodgepodge, a few items from a previous county commission meeting that we found interesting.
Got some stuff floating around out there still.
Yeah, our goal here is to, certainly to inform and entertain you, and we have several items here that are kind of a continuing look-see, and so we'll go over them. As you all know, we have the central landfill there in Milton off the Lisa Road, and just to kind of catch you up, the regulations have become a little more stringent, and they have to collect the water, the leachate from it, and the county has made efforts to do that. They put in the piping and all that. But there was a very interesting discussion at the commission meeting concerning the collection of methane gas. And if you all don't know, let me tell you that in many landfills, and I know Waste Management's kind of led the pack there, being the largest landfill operator. You can generate quite a bit of gas, methane gas, from using collection pipes. There are some cities that are using it for their downtown lighting. They actually use the light and use it for light source and different things. So basically what happened, we've kind of reached out for an expert.
Well, the county would like to collect the gas from the landfill. What's in question is whether they somehow find a way to use the gas to power something, wherever that may be, county park lights, whatever, or whether they burn the gas off, destroy the gas, and turn around and sell the fact that they burned the gas off to companies that pollute more and are not meeting their pollution standards in the form of carbon credits.
Now see, I knew you were going to set me off. There was no way that you were not going to set me off on this one. What Deborah's referring to is the Al Gore drum beating of carbon credits. And I'm going to take a moment just to say how ridiculous I think Al Gore is to start out with. All of his efforts in carbon credits and all of it, saving the environment. We're talking about a guy who has a $15,000 a month power bill at his house and flies Learjets all over the place. And as far as I can tell, hasn't eliminated 1 square inch of a carbon footprint that he might have.
Well, there's some question as to how, not legitimate, but how this program works, and how how the logistics work out on this, and whether there's any oversight, and if there should be any oversight. There doesn't appear to be a whole lot of government oversight.
I really enjoyed when Gordon started pressing the guy on it. Well, does the the financial markets? Is there any rules and regulations, and who keeps track of this, and how does it work? And even the expert that we've paid, kind of wilted under the pressure there a little bit.
Well, there was some skepticism. This is Commissioner Gooden's response to this report that we heard at the last county commission meeting.
So roll tape.
When we come to these carbon credits, is it a regulated industry? And who on the other end of this thing is buying these carbon credits? How do we know that they're legitimate? And back to the question about regulation, how do we know that in fact the proposed mitigation is taking place?
Well, first of all, to answer your last question first, we'll have instrumentation on the system to document what's going on with regard to your system. So that'll get documented as to the amount of tons of carbon or of methane that are being destructed. So it'll be a documented system. There are protocols that have been established by a number of organizations on how that has to be done.
Who are these organizations? I keep hearing about all this. It really seems very dubious to me. Is this Wall Street type stuff, or is this more like a EPA regulatory agency that is in fact saying, here are the credits, we're going to burn this stuff off in Santa Rosa County landfill so somebody in China can pollute the living hell out of their environment?
Well, there is a system called the Chicago Climate Exchange where these credits are traded on like a commodity basis.
Doesn't make me feel better.
No. As we know right now, in today's world, there's no guarantees about a lot of things.
But my point being, and I'm going to go to particular where I think this is going to go, because I think this whole industry is pretty flaky right now, and the ability to actually accomplish something good for the environment through carbon credits, I think is a dubious argument at this point, because I don't think there's enough regulation or verification of the credits actually taking place. But I do think that we've got the moral and ethical issue of, do we need to destroy this thing to quit polluting the environment where we can?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Deborah, and certainly, I agree with his skepticism. I think it's a farce, it's a joke, it's an insult to my intelligence.
Well, and it may be that the gas could be used in some other way. It may actually could be used for fuel here.
Well,
and this was tossed around too.
I was just going off of their rough numbers, and on the volume that they thought they might be able to collect now, and obviously the landfill grows in size, then we collect more. I just did a rough calculation at the price of natural gas at $7 per 1,000 cubic feet. And right now there's about $400,000 worth of gas there. Now certainly there's the issue of getting it to the market, but I'm sure our audience, and I know you've seen it and I've seen it, the T. Boone Pickens on TV with using compressed natural gas. I would certainly would much rather us use that. I mean, look, if you don't do anything but run the heater in the building for the guys who work at the landfill to keep them warm when it's 22 degrees outside, is better than burning it and signing some long-term obscure contract into the future that we don't know what might happen.
Well, and that possibility came up at the meeting, and they talked about that, and that may be something that down the road we might be using our garbage to run something.
Well, certainly, and part of the discussion was incinerators have become much more efficient